And this is very much a full 30-minute panel. So with that, we have some of my favorite folks in crypto here. Kyle Ray, Kai Primo's jumping in, Peter Rosa, Drew Taylor, and Chris Wise, who is new to crypto, but I have dragged him, I wouldn't say kicking and screaming, he very willingly came along, so that he can share the concept of emotional cognizance and emotional awareness, and what he calls emotional quotient for life and trading. So we'll get into a lot of those concepts, but I'd like to turn it over to Chris for a quick synopsis, and then we'll allow the panel to debate there.
Great. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Awesome. So here's my question. It's actually LQ, or love quotient. And so
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. So so just to frame it, so EQ is emotional intelligence. That first was IQ, then we had EQ, and now we have LQ, which is love quotient. But here's the question I actually want to start off with is, how do you choose love, not fear? Because Brock Pierce asked that, or made that statement, let's choose love, not fear. And so how do you do that? And that's actually what LQ, love quotient, is all about. So generally speaking in life, we're taught to be kind and loving towards others. Like that's a good thing. And I think that just the whole idea of blockchain and cryptocurrencies and the decentralization is actually is expansion, which is the nature of consciousness and the very nature of love. And so I even see the very fact that we're having this conference is rooted in the very nature of love. But how do we as individuals on a everyday basis actually choose love? And so when I talk about raising your LQ, raising your love quotient, when we choose to be kind and loving towards ourselves, when we choose to start with self-love and learn how to very deeply love ourselves. I don't know how much time we'll have if I'll be able to break that down, but when we really begin to learn how to love ourselves, we actually fill our cups first. We actually start from a place of self-love, and then we just naturally show up more kind and loving in the world. And that actually transforms how we make decisions, how we're able to deal with this fucking crazy world of COVID and all the stuff that's happening. We can have a better relationship with our emotions, and it just really opens up some amazing things.
Agreed. Thank you so much, Chris. And just to kind of baseline so that I don't talk too much during this panel, for me, the emotional side comes to the love quotient and the not trading emotionally, not behaving on the day-to-day emotionally, kind of transcending those, gut feelings. For me, it's very difficult in these times as I'm looking at the data that indicates to me that we're going into something that's rather scary. I watched my grandmother go from a millionaire in 2007 to not being able to afford a place to live by 2009. That terrified me. My family, a lot of my family members have now moved into retirement. And so just kind of stemming that off and not letting fear live in you. And I mean, it affects you on a cellular level, which is why I'm so excited that folks like Kyle and Kai are here. I didn't even plan that. It just worked out that way. But they're so gratitude driven and service driven and just really emotionally cognizant humans. So Kai Primo, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you like to do a quick intro and talk about your concept of emotional awareness for trading in life?
Yeah, I picked this panel because it was the one that resonated with me the most. And, I'll start with, if we were to take everything else away, take away the monies and the things that we do on this planet and, the house that we live in, the cell phones, just even the body, at the core of everything, we're consciousness, we're light. And so being grounded in that knowing, and we really journey our entire life to remember that one truth of what we really are, which is particles of light. And so anything that feels heavy and dense can't be us. It's impossible because we are light. We're in a body, but we're light. It's what we're made of. So grounded in that knowing of what we really are and who we really are, meaning it's impossible to be less than love. It's impossible to be less than light. As this life unfolds, you can like watch it like a movie, you know, like you can almost just like enjoy what is without putting it in a category of good and bad. That's forever man-made. We can enjoy it. And so when things happen, like, you know, pandemics and things of that nature, the key truly, I want to say, is to the awareness of the emotion, which is just triggered little energies that needs to make an exit, or perhaps they're energies that we pick up. It's like data we pick up from one another. So if someone's afraid, like on the other side of the world, you could potentially be picking up that data in your body, and you feel it. But you start to feel it, and then you challenge it, you question it, and you go, hey, is this heavy or light? And if it has a density in your body, it's the body's the compass. And so it tells you everything. As if it feels dense in the body, that's really how we get sick, or our immune system starts to die down. It means it's not our data, it's not our information. So the fears and the whatever that we start to witness, that we pick up, and then you notice that you're projecting that because it needs to be exposed and make an exit. It's for you to become aware of, so that it does make an exit, but you don't give it any energy, or you don't give it any you almost just witness it in a complete state of neutrality, so the thing can make an exit. So now you travel in this earth as light as you possibly can, without all that baggage that you're picking up. And more so, we have the capability to transmute that. So when you pick it up from like someone's fear from the other side of the planet, and you're picking it up on it, or your father's fear, your mother's fear, whatever, your friends, you have this opportunity. When you pick up, or someone yells at you, you can mute it. So then you pick it up them, and that's what we do here. You know, we're in this.
We're losing you a little bit, so I'm just gonna summarize really quick. And I know I told this to Chris Wise privately, and just to share with all of you. My father passed away in the last year, and when that happened, it was these massive emotions, and I had to kind of educate myself to just let those emotions pass through like weather in the sky. And you can't control it, and trying to control it will make you sick. And you have to allow yourself to feel all those things. So I know that we can get very esoteric in this, but Kyle, Ray, if you can translate this to how to recognize that heavy feeling when you're trading, when you feel like you're too pot committed, you feel, you know in your gut when you have to make a strategy change. How do you evaluate that? How do you do that, Kyle? I mean, because I know you do it. I've seen you do it.
If you're trading every single day, you're going to get numb. You got to feel emotion. But at the same time, when you're trading, it has to all be based off technical aspects. So if you do anything based off of emotion, let's say you consistently get 3 or 4 or 5 wins in a row and you're feeling confident, that confidence transfers over. And because let's just say when you look in a mirror, you see yourself. When you don't look in a mirror, you feel something. So if you're feeling confident, that's going to carry over your trade. What if you make one extra trade, then all of a sudden it just goes boom? Then you just took that high and turned it into a low and erased everything you just spent the few weeks or days or hours or whatever amount of time gaining. That is the worst gut feeling right there. And then you're going to, like, if you're a regular trader who's not been doing this a while, you're going to scramble to try to get it back, stuff like that, instead of being patient. But you got to think about trading. It's a long-term game. It's not a short-term game. So you're trying to get a certain amount of like profits or something, a certain amount of time, then you're forcing yourself to trade, and that's emotional.
Kyle,
So
what what I'm hearing from you is don't let your trading record dictate your self-worth. I mean, I feel like maybe that's a bit heavy-handed, but that's kind of what I feel like you're saying here.
I would just say, like, if you're not in touch with your emotions, you're probably not gonna be a very good trader, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
So
all right.
yeah, and what happens? One quick thing.
Go ahead.
One quick thing I want to say real quick. Is the more information that you have, the better you are at controlling your emotions, because emotions are tied to the unknown. So if you don't know what to expect, then you're going to make stupid moves, and then it's going to give you a gut feeling because you haven't trained your body to understand that this information is correct, this information is not correct. So yeah.
Good points, man. Good points. That's why data is king. Kyle Kemper, your thoughts, sir? You're on mute though. You gotta unmute. I'll go on mute. We'll trade.
All right, unmuted. My thoughts. Thank you, Kristina. Thank you, Kai, Kyle, and Chris. Yeah, my thoughts on this are that that love is so powerful and light is so powerful, but like there's collective energies in play as well. And one of the reasons you might be asking, why is this guy dressed up like this? What's up with all these lights? It's because we're having, tonight, this is gonna be our third Friday in a row of having virtual decentralized dance parties where we've been uniting people all around the planet for hours in dance and exercise and community building. We break out into breakout rooms afterwards. You just get to connect. You get to interface with people. Like one of the really big tolls that's being taken on everybody is that we're all like, socially distanced and isolated. I had someone come by to buy a table yesterday. It was like actually really nice just to see someone like, in that capacity and like, to be able to do that. So, we are trying to counterbalance a lot of these, and I'll just say that on the fear side of things, and the fear side of this equation right now, like every single media channel, all like the official channels coming out of the official social channels, there's so much like programmed fear. Like just the way they've done it, this is like, we've seen this before. This is like 9/11 all over again in terms of like in the war, like, showcasing this shock and awe and all about these death numbers and being told to do that, and daily briefings by our trusted leaders telling us, what's going to go on, and just so much of this energy, and it makes people feel alone and isolated and scared. So, but when we come together and we dance, and even we're dancing all around the world, and I think Kai was kind of talking about vibration, as when we raise this vibration all together, we can really kind of like we can potentially shift the entire planet, our state of being, our present and eternal. Unify had their global kind of peace meditation the other day on 4/4, and that was an absolutely incredible gathering of people like, coming down, touching in, sharing and talking deeply. This gathering that, Coin Genius has brought together here today has been so enlightening and so wonderful just to see everybody kind of coming and sharing points of view and understanding, like, we all have our own points of view, and we're balancing each other out, and we're learning, and we're able to think a little bit more critically about this because we're engaged in it. So engagement really is like, is strong, and like, keeping that light in your heart, and knowing that like, the light will always rise, and that you just trying to do the best that you can. A book that really has guided me is The Four Agreements by Don Luis Ortiz. What was his name? Anyways, an amazing book. Yeah, it's like it transforms.
Don Miguel Ruiz, if I remember correctly.
Don Miguel Ruiz, yeah.
There's 3 names in there, if I remember correctly. But I also try to live by the 4 agreements. Kyle, you want to tell them real quick, and then we're going to kick it to Chris White. Go ahead.
So 4 agreements: be impeccable with your words. Understand that your words cast white magic or black magic. Agreement 2, don't make any assumptions. This feeds off number 1 in terms of words. People can be casting black magic. If you take that as reality, it can affect you. 3rd agreement, don't take things personally. Back to the first one in terms of words. People can talk crap about you, and it can really get to you, or you can take things personally for good or for bad. And then the 4th agreement, like one of the most powerful, is always do your best. Just do the best you can in everything you can do, and then you'll have no regrets in life.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kyle Kemper. Chris Wise, I know you have many, many deeper things to get into, but I'd like to give the next few minutes over to you and potentially posit a question to the rest of the panel that they can ask they can give their last thoughts on.
Great. So you wanted me to go now?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. So to actually get to the heart of LQ and love and really being able to love yourself, I would say it's creating a relationship with your inner child. In psychology, there's a aspect of the 3 parts of self. It's in transactional analysis. And so just to help kind of understand this conceptually, and so if we understand there's our adult self, which could be our ego or our active self, and what we're doing is we're loving the inner part of ourselves, our inner child or our basic self. And one of the most easiest ways to do this, to raise your LQ, to actually give yourself more love, is to say the words, I love you, to your own inner child. And I'm going to invite you all to do this with me right now. And you can either do it silently or out loud. And you can close your eyes. I like to put my hand on my heart. And you can just repeat after me. I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I love you. And you can do that as much, or that's just kind of a little introduction, a little warm up. You can do that as much as you'd like throughout the day. I recommend, see, you deserve more love, not less. And the more love that you actually anchor into your body through a practice like the I love you practice, the more safe that you will actually feel in your own body. The safer you feel in your own body, the safer you're actually able to be with difficult emotions like fear, sadness, loneliness, boredom, upset, loss, a lot of the emotions that probably all of us are facing to some varying degree right now. And even if you want to get ninja with this, I'm going to kind of give you level 2, a little quick version of level 2 right now. Let's say fear is an emotion that's coming up, fear from whatever it is, right? So to the one who's feeling fear, I love you. To the one who's feeling fear, I love you. Or to the one who's feeling loss, I love you. To the one who's feeling sadness, I love you. Only you can love you in all the unique ways that you need and desire to be loved. And when you acknowledge these aspects of yourself that are these different emotions, you're acknowledging them and actually anchoring love into your body so that you can be present with them so that the emotion can actually move through your body. See, without doing this, you actually carry that emotional density in your body.
Yep.
So doing this practice will help these emotions that are coming up through life right now move through you. And what that space that opens up is so that you can be more conscious and present in the decisions that you need to make right now.
Thank you so much, Chris. Kai, I'm going to pick on you first, and then I'm going to go to Kyle and Kyle. Right? Can we get a little bit of this going on?
Wow. Right now, dude. Amen. I feel this vibration and embrace in the body. Again, I can't say it enough. The body is a compass. It talks to you. It'll tell you everything you need to know. And exactly what you said, Chris, is that in that stillness, in that presence, in that awareness is where you channel. When you need to make a decision with trading or any decision, really, it's in that stillness is where.
Oh, Kai, we're losing you.
The high forms of data can enter the body. Like, again, we're these computers that receive this data. So anything that feels dense, not welcome. Anything that is of accelerated consciousness, you can feel that vibration. So when you did that meditation, and I was just having that, put the thing in my heart and I just said, I love you, I felt it immediately and it was amazing. And we could do that all day long.
Quick tips for traders. If you're feeling heated, drink a cold beverage or stand in a cold spot. It lowers your rage meter or whatever. 2 things that I use is probiotics, and I also use brain focus supplements. and I'm trying to eat healthier, and that's helped me get clear. And also exercise. If you're a trader, you're sitting around a desk, get the blood flowing, get your mind clear. That's a couple tips for you.
Thanks, Kyle Kemper.
Vitamin D, vitamin C, exercise, yoga, meditation, cold showers, whatever it is that you do. Vitamin D is important. Get the sun on you to stay healthy. But the only one thing that I really wanted to just say was that I love you. And I love all of you, everybody here, everybody who's in the channel. And one of the things that I do in signing off with everybody is say I love them to them. And it's true. It's true. Even when I don't like them, I still love them.
Well, thank you for being such centered humans. I really appreciate it. All for being on. We're going to go ahead and wrap and pivot to the last panel of the day. So thank you, Chris, Kyle, and Kyle. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.